obviously not happy about my last performance. I really didn't feel like I got to even fight. It was kind of a quick knockout. So it's good to get back in here and prove myself once again.
Yeah, do you feel like you can digest that the right way? I mean, you've spent over 7 hours in the octagon. Crazy shit's going to happen when you spend that much time in the cage. So is that kind of just how you take it?
Yeah, it's just you live by the sword, you die by the sword in this game, and that's the way it goes, man. The game can be cruel at times.
And to see what Corey has kind of gone on to do since then, does that make you feel even better about that loss, if you can take it any positive way?
No, I mean, nothing to make you feel good about that. I know he was a good fighter even before I fought him, so I'm not surprised at his success.
Yeah, and what do you think of the fight against Marlon, another younger guy who's had a lot of experience in the UFC already so far? What do you just make of him as an opponent?
Yeah, he's a dangerous guy. He's going to come and scrap, well-rounded. All these young guys are pretty good everywhere, so I'm expecting an entertaining fight.
And what are the goals at the moment? I know with the drop to 35, there was ambitions of a title run. You had a great start, and then the setback. Do you feel like a win here kind of resets you down that path in this loaded division? Yeah,
winnings have a way of taking care of things, So I just gotta, worry about winning this fight, and then we'll think about the next step.
Awesome, thank you.
Frankie, right here. We just spoke to Marlon earlier, and he said earlier in his career he felt he wasn't UFC caliber himself, and he felt lost. And he said what sets him apart is he survived that and is still in the UFC. So I don't know how aware you were of Marlon in his early career, but do you see that overarching massive improvements from early Marlon to what he is now?
Yeah, I mean, time in this game and fighting this competition in UFC, if you're still here, you've gotten better. It's just inevitable. So, yeah, I've been here for quite a long time myself, so I know what it is. And, I've had some ups and downs, and, it just makes you a little bit more resilient.
Frankie, to your left over here. To your left. Just looking at your career, obviously you've been there, done that, been a champion, fought so many great guys. Out of everybody, who would you say maybe stands out the most as the toughest opponent you've had?
Oh, that's tough to say. I think I fought who's who in a couple weight classes. Max Holloway, Jose Aldo, Corey Sanhagen, Ben Henderson. Those are all pretty good guys.
Well, when you look at the featherweight division now, and that there's a new sheriff in town a little bit with Alexander Volkanovski, does that entice you at all to go back up and maybe try and challenge him? And just what are your overall thoughts on him as a champion?
Yeah, I think he's a phenomenal champion. He's that last fight too was very impressive against Ortega, and obviously to get a win over Max Holloway is definitely a feather in his cap. And I'm not worried about going anywhere right now. I'm just worried about Saturday night.
Best of luck, Frankie.
Thank you.
Frankie, the nature of the knockout earlier this year, I mean, it was kind of a violent one, obviously. Every knockout kind of is what it is. But did you have any conversations kind of with your family in the wake of the knockout? And obviously your kids are also getting older too. How much does their input do they give to you with regard to your career as you're getting later in it?
Yeah, it was definitely an unfortunate thing the way that knockout went down. A little scary looking at the time, but it is what it is, man. This is what the life that I chose, and I put it on the line, and that's how it is. And my kids, they give me input, not about that stuff. They're definitely into what I do. But I don't go asking my kids for any advice about my career. I don't know. If you're going to ask them any advice about journalism and stuff,
My kids would be terrible with that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, Frankie, over here on your left. Right here. Obviously, you're going to be in your town. You fought around the world. Can you talk a little bit about what fans in New York are like? Not necessarily just for you, but just in general compared to the other things you've experienced and other fans in other places.
Yeah, they're going to be rowdy. They're going to be loud. And hopefully it'll be on my side, which I think they will be. So maybe not too many derogatory things yelled my way.
What does a fight week look like for you in New York particularly?
Oh, it's nice. I get to drive in. Don't have to worry about my suitcase weighing too much, all that stuff. And I train at Hansel Gracie's, which I've trained there quite a bit, throughout my career, and it feels like a home game.
What kind of places do you look for when you're talking about New York pizza? Like, what's something that a local would know about the pizza here?
I mean, you can't miss. You can't miss in New York, man. You know, it's New York and Jersey. I got to rep Jersey, obviously. That's where I'm from. But you can't miss. If you want to go over the bridge to Pino's Pizza, that's Mark Henry's pizza spot. That's definitely one of my favorite spots.
Thank you.
You got it.
Frankie, I know you don't plan on, over here on the left, I know you don't plan on calling it a career at this point, but when you do think about eventually winding things down, is it important for you to go out on a high with a win or two?
Yeah, you know, I think I would like to go out on a win for sure. You know, I mean, you know, I don't want to lose anyway. So yeah, of course I want to go out on a win. So yes.
On your right. You had talked earlier about, you know, learning a little bit from the knockouts and having some other things. Generally, as fighters get older and get more experience in the game, they get better defensively than they do offensively. They've learned a few more things. Is there any been changes over the past couple of years trying to learn extra new wrinkles into your game defensively to try and avoid some of the things that have happened, or just, you know, keep on going and just write them off as, you know, things happen?
Yeah, I always go to look at previous fights and try to see what I could change to make me better, especially defense. I mean, no one wants to get knocked out, you know, like that. But, you know, I'll definitely be looking to avoid those jumping knees for sure.
Greetings from Ecuador. Chito talks about finish you before the third round. What's your plan to avoid it?
Just stay on him. Put him on defense. That's the best way.
He's never been finished. It's a challenge for you?
Yeah, for sure. I go out there trying to put everyone away if I can. You know, not always the easiest thing to do, but you know, my foot's always on the gas pedal and I'm always being offensive. So if the opportunity arises, I'm going to definitely jump at it.
After a long career, every fight feels like it's the last one, or you enjoy it? It makes you less nervous, maybe.
So repeat that again.
If at this point in your career, a long career, it feels like every fight maybe could be the last one?
I'm going to be fighting on my deathbed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Frankie, just one more. Curious, at the top of this card, we have 2 championship rematches. You've been in that scenario a lot, both on the winning end and the losing end, trying to come back and hold it again. What's kind of, when you look at that, what do you think is the most important element going into that scenario, if you could kind of give us both sides of the coin, as the person who lost and as the person who won?
I think if you're coming in as the winner, you got to just believe that you're going to repeat what you did. You know, you got to believe that you belong to be the champion. And I think if you're coming off a loss, you got to believe that you're going to make the changes that you're going to learn from the previous fight and make the changes you need to accomplish that goal.
Do you support BJ Penn's run for governor of Hawaii?
Yeah, why not? Let's go. One of our own, leading the state. Yeah, that's cool.
Thank you.
Frankie, over here on your right. You've obviously been through so much in your career, achieved so much, became champion. Now it seems like you're in the twilight of your career. What's the goal at this point? Are you trying to get back to gold, or are you just here for fun fights just because you're a fighter?
You know, I don't know. It's tough, man. I think all fights are fun, but achieving the gold is always the goal, and that's probably the most fun. So, you know, if I could, I think you need to have that, you know, that pinnacle at the top of your list. That's kind of what I've gotten into this sport for, is to be the best, and that's always been my mindset. But yeah, I'm enjoying the process as I go.
Frankie,
Thanks.
just on it. You said just then you're going to be fighting on your deathbed. So do you ever get kind of annoyed by us always saying to you, like, oh, you're thinking retirement about this one or this one or this one? Does that make you more defiant?
It's not being defiant. I mean, you know, when I say I'm gonna fight on my deathbed, it's like, you know, I'm a fighter, bro. That's what I am, you know, and I'm always gonna fight in some way, shape, or form. And does it get? I mean, that's your job. It's your job to ask these questions. It's natural to be a 40-year-old guy and people say, hey, when are you gonna hang it up? Or it's natural for your opponent to say they're gonna retire you. Like, come on, that's fucking old stuff, you know.
Do you remember the first time those questions started being asked of you, and do you remember being like, oh shit, it's happening to me now?
Actually, I remember I was fighting a rematch against, I think, Aldo. I was 30, and Max Kellerman was like, this could be the end. I'm at the end, bro. What's this guy talking about? So yeah, that was a little weird to hear at 30 years old.
Wow, that's Kellerman.
Thanks, guys. Take care.